Hey guys, Sunday, October 27, 2024. Let's see what the Black Widow wants to do this week. I'm going to start off with my Elliot wave chart. But before I do that, I just want to kind of show you some things that are interesting in this time of season that we're in. First off, we'll look at our seasonality. Percent of months in which nat gas closed higher than it opened from 2005 all the way to 2024. Typically, nat gas in October makes a high using 20 years of data. And typically, the Black Widow likes to hibernate and go down into the caves. So November gets a little weaker. And then December gets a little weaker. And then the cycle again begins in February all the way into April. So you have to be very cautious if you are long now. You might get a little extra, bump up, but be cautious because I'm going to show you some turbulence times that we're heading. We're getting very close between October and November for a possible turning point. If it's going to play out, we don't know yet. She might surprise us and continue going higher and ignore the seasonality. But if she's going to rhyme with what has happened in the past, she likes to play tricks to trap the bulls. So be careful if you are a bull. Another thing I want to show you is let's see, right here. Commitments of Traders report. This gray color, these guys, these are commercial. And they are buying nat gas. The blue line, these are large speculators. And they are shorting nat gas. You can see in their position. Commercial 155, non-commercial 166. This is us, retail. I don't bother with this data. I don't think it's that important, but what important is the commercial and the large speculators. So you can look at this two ways. Maybe commercial knows something that large speculators don't know, and typically they like to go against the trend. They like to hedge. Right now, they're not hedging. They're kind of going in the direction of where nat gas is, kind of going as of now. But we'll see. Just wanted to, bring that up to you. And large speculators are shorting, and they're shorting because they're guessing that, nat gas is going to go lower. So is it one of those things that it's just going to be a matter of time where nat gas just snaps back and goes down? Yeah, we know seasonality wise between October and November she's weak, so they might have insight, or I don't know if it's an edge or just ahead of the move, and they're just shorting it, but kind of getting in the red. But large commercial are in the direction of where nat gas is going. So it all depends once she turns down, that the large speculators are going to be right. And if she continues going up, then large speculators are wrong, and commercial are going with the trend with nat gas continue going higher. Because typically when she goes higher, commercial like to hedge and go lower, and large speculators follow in pursuit. But, we're living in interesting times. Things sometimes just flip and go opposite. So just want to let you know the dynamics of what's going on with the Commitments of Traders report. One of these groups are right. And so far, commercial have the upper hand and large speculators are holding the bag. Let's look at the Elliot wave and see where we're at. And this probably could be subject to change, just to let you know, because you know how Elliot wave theory is. But I figure I want to show it just because I find it fascinating and interesting. And there are a lot of traders that trade this theory. So It's good to see what other traders are doing. That way you are aware of everything. Looking at the Stokes, they're positive. We just made a wave 3, and it looks like a wave 4 is coming up around 266. And if this plays out and then we turn somewhere between October and November, then your final wave 5, or at least a projection, not something, written in stone, but just an idea, it'd be 151, 152 around there. That'd be your wave 5. So this is the end game if the seasonalities are going to play out here. Now, interesting is that seasonality on average peaked out around 1018, and we made a bottom around 1018, 1020, around there. I mean, these are closes, so it fluctuates, but somewhere around 20. We made a low and got this nice pop. So things are a little inverse. So they're going opposite of where they normally would go. So this is where the games get, interesting. So what if I say that from here we go up, and then from here, which is the 28th, 29th, we turn down? We're going opposite of what it normally does in reverse. Or we continue grinding higher, sideways to higher, until we get to the 12th, and then dwindle down into November and December, January. Just looking at this chart, this is, those are two possible outcomes. Continue going, head fake, turn down, or, pretty much chop fest here. But we'll see how that's going to play out. Remember the lines I was telling you right here? It's kind of over extreme. So if we get to 266 and then continue going higher, this count is probably going to change, and we're probably going to go back to 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5. If it's going to stall here in this area. So 3, maybe 4, and maybe this will be your 5. The end of the month. I mean, way up. I don't know. We'll see. I'm speculating. But these will kind of want to show you what I'm seeing there. In regards to the techniques, the ellipse technique, we got this nice 1024. This one coming out at 1030 and 1031. So those are your next dates you want to keep an eye on right here. And so far, the linear regression channel on a intermediate setting, it's up. So let's see what's going to happen for this week. But keep an eye at 266. And I know, you guys are probably trading December. I got you. We'll be looking at that. But, I use the closes on these just because it's easier for me. So I just wanted to let you know on that. Let's go to the next clip. Okay, so this is the November contract. I just wanted to kind of show you where we're at here, and then we'll go to the December. So on the November, we zoom in right here. We are at the point of control, which is somewhere around 259, around the 260. I know the change of contract is coming soon. It's going to be around $3 and change. So there'll probably be a big gap up. So this is where it's at, and volume is going to be already slowing down into the November, going into the December. Looking at their daily, this is an area around here, 271 all the way to 275, point of control. Value area high. Now, if we go into the December contract, things are pretty much interesting. We are at the point of control on the monthly. No, not really. Where is it? 306. This is the high that we made. We're over here. On the weekly, let's open this up. On the weekly, we are at the point of control, which is 303. So keep an eye on this area, because from here, we may want to try to get to value area high of 340. But, that remains to be seen. And on the daily chart, we are above point of control. Next value area low would be 316. So this is an area you want to keep an eye on. If we go into the simple glance and we go back to our regular NG contract that I use, you can see that we stalled right here. And an interesting level we stalled in. We are at the point of control and at the top of the cloud. So that's why I love to use the cloud. It's just a confirmation of things that just kind of make sense. So you got your midpoint and you got your 50% pretty much right here. And we stalled right there. So far, the MACD is still negative. Linear regression channels are still pointing up on the weekly. Also on the daily. And we bounced off this area pretty much off the 200. Keep an eye on for 244, where this is all going to change once the contract changes. But we're kind of like in an open area right here, which is positive, not below the cloud and not below the linear regression channels, but the MACDs are still positive. Now, if we do our Z24, which is December, things look different. We're below the cloud, obviously, and below the cloud here. MACD is still negative. And you got value area low around 346. We're way away from it right there. And we made a low of 271, which is interesting. According to Gann theory, that is something interesting right there. I'm going to go into the details as to why. That's something if you were to Gann, you would probably realize if you were deep and stuff like that. But however, I did make a point on my last video that you want to keep a watch on this area. The 20, the 50, get the 200 all the way up here, but this is one area you want to watch. I kind of think that maybe we might kind of stall here sideways, maybe get a little mini pullback. I mean, I don't know if we're going to take out some lows, but kind of maybe pull back here and then maybe try, but we'll see. You got the value area high of 315, and you got this nice level of 319 all the way to, yeah, pretty much that 319 area right here. So baby steps. If we could push, even if we get a pullback Monday or Tuesday on the overnight, get to the value area high of 315, that's good. And if we could get to then 319, that's better. If we could close above 319, I think this is your target right here. It all depends when we get that. It will be the end of this week or first, second week of November. This is the area you want to maybe start unloading if you are long. But this is pretty strong, so it doesn't surprise me if we get a little pullback and maybe get into here or something like that, you know, price pattern wise. Let's see. I will have to go back to my contract of November to look at some things here. The good thing is that we bounced off the APF. Didn't get to the 25%, but just kind of in there. So let's see if this holds, but I'm sure with the change of contract, things are going to change. Let's see, channel wise, you're above here, so that's good. 1027 Gann grid, your resistance right there. Midpoint is 293. The December contract is above that. Let's see, we already know gap fills, move up. So these are a couple of projections. I think the next one will be somewhere around 269, 267. Remember that? The wave 4 projection, that's that level. Cluster right there. And then your next one will be, I mean, we're already hitting this one right here, not in time, but in level wise, 256. That kind of lines up right there. 267, and then the next big one will be 298. And this is just me, you know, it's all going to adjust. I figure I just probably get to the point when the change of contract happens. It'll be easier because everything will adjust. Right now, we're kind of looking at the November. So let's look at things that make sense. Okay, so let me see. Anything there? Trend line? No, it doesn't bother. Let's go look at this. So we had our midpoint 2 days after, then sell off. We hit our 3/4. We got our next pop. So you want to keep an eye on November 7th. That's your SO date right here. So maybe pullback, whatever. If that's going to go here, if we continue going lower and take out this low, then forget about this date. Because it's probably going to go maybe to 152, as the Elliott theory says, for wave 5 all the way down there. But if it's going to try to follow the seasonality and then tip over, then keep an eye out for November 7th. You want to hold on to your long, there. In regards to my SR, you got 260. Well, this won't apply. You got 306, which is a 75. Maybe possible target with the new contract of 351. That could be possible. Very possible. Also, this is what's making me lean that we might have a little turbulence here. The 27th, which is today. So, the Sunday night session. These are dates I have already, using Gann theory. Sorry about that. Gann theory, 27th and also the 31st. So that's why they're red. So it could be a little choppy here, little headwinds, some thunderstorms. Maybe go back up. And then another day of thunderstorms and hail and rain and earthquakes and all that. So these are the days you want to kind of watch out for high volatility or possible turns. Could be a turn where that's it and continue, or just a little turn retracement, shake out the bulls and then maybe go up, maybe shake out the bulls, but they're kind of more on the negative side. So those are the dates you want to keep an eye on. I think that's it. Let's keep it simple. Let's go into our midpoint and let's go into the December. Everybody loves December. I know why you like December, because it's Christmas time, right? I know my boys love December. They get all excited. Daddy, let me show you this on Amazon. Can't believe my kids know Amazon and are showing me things and putting it on my cart, but then I stop them because I log out before they hit buy and commit to the gift. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get it. Let me think about it. Okay, so the December contract. Right now, we're in the MOBO, and you're in your midpoint. So 310 is your midpoint. To be bullish, you need to close above 320. You got the moving average, so you got this kind of, you can say, is a low from last year or whatever, or some kind of low. I know the contract things are confusing. 329. In regards to the monthly pivots, we already hit the 25%, because this is your 75 right here, and you hit the moving average. So we need to get above at least targets 312 all the way to your midpoint. So this is a big kahuna right here. This is where I think she'll probably have issues if she ever gets up there. 317. Although the mobiles are positive, Stokes are looking good. Could stall here and maybe go up in that second date, the 31st, maybe hit the 50. I don't know, but we're in that area where it could get a little weird. But these are big key levels, baby steps. Let's see if we can get to the midpoint. So that's your 317. Nextly, on the 4 hour, looking at the weekly pivot, we're doing good. We're above the moving average, above your midpoint. Now the midpoint for next week will be 290. So keep an eye out. If that pulls back here, that's going to be good support. If you're not in and you're assuming or guessing or speculating that's going to go higher into maybe November and, push higher, then this would be an area, to see if it gets down there. It pulls back, maybe $3. Worst case scenario, 295 could hold. So these could be bouncing areas, but definitely here. And you got your moving average right here. Mobiles are getting a little choppy here. Very overextended. This is a strong move. So Doesn't surprise me. You know, we don't go up in a straight line, but doesn't surprise me. We pull back at one of these levels, bounce and continue. Yeah, there you go. The snapback right there. What was that? Yep. Perfect snapback. So let's see how that plays out. So let's see if it's going to continue, Momo. These are big targets to the upside for this week. As long as we can stay above 3.0, you can say 310. That was your high of Friday. Targets to the upside, if you're bullish, 319 all the way to 329. Those are big picture targets. In conjunction, what is it, 329? And I said 317, yeah. So this will probably... 317 will be lining up here. And then if it goes more, it'll probably be your 329, which is your 75% level up here. And lastly, on the hourly chart, using the daily pivots, as you can see, this was a nice area to buy. Your midpoint, chopped around, and then really exploded up. It hit your target of 3.310, and it could have hit this one, but now for Monday, Sunday night, this is your midpoint. So you want to make sure if you're going to be in the bull camp that you stay above this level right here. And obviously I know you got your VWAP and all that. This is a moving average to 200. So long as we can stay and bounce off of this or this, we are good. But we start getting below that and fail it, and start doing this thing, into the overnight, or stay below here into the overnight to Monday US session, be cautious. Because they might, the bears might try to get aggressive. In the overnight or in the US session, like I said, today is a turbulence day. Today is thunder and lightning and hail and earthquakes. May play out, may not, but just be cautious because this is where it gets tricky. These are your levels, targets to the upside. If it's gonna bounce off of this, for the US session, targets up at 313 all the way to 316. So you see that there's like an area of clusters around here using the other time frames and all that. So my best guess is that you get a little tricky here. I showed you some of the seasonality and some of the moving, the seasonality and averages. So an Elliot wave, says that there's more downside unless we continue grinding higher. Then that's subject to change in regards to the count. And the most fascinating thing is that commercial is buying and large speculators are shorting. So who's right? They think, nat gas is going higher and commercial wants to get a little piece of the pie. Large speculators are getting squeezed as this is going to continue, or large speculators are like, yeah, you guys are all whack. That gas is going to go down. It's probably going to go down this week, and it's going to follow where our money's at. Then commercial is like, all right, fine, it's going to go down. That's why we're hedging, and that's why we're buying it. So you can look at it both ways. If you want to know about the weather and all that stuff, you can look at some of that on other websites. I just kind of more covered technicals and, storage. EIA report came out. So, and on top of that, the cycles that I use that more Gann related, the red projection line is up. And I know some of you were like, man, that's crazy. That's not going to help us. And look at that. That cycle turned here and look at price action going up. So I'll leave it at that. That's the one I'm kind of leaning on until it doesn't work. But so far it's telling me that there's more probably higher prices to come. But we'll see how it's going to play out. I'm going to sign out. Enjoy this day. One of my boys is not feeling too good, so I'm going to give him a little love and all that good stuff. And hopefully he feels better. He has like a cold or a cough. He's fighting a virus. It's that time of the season where things get weird in the atmosphere. I'm going to sign out. Hopefully you like this video. Let me know your thoughts. Are you bull? You're bear? Are you in the sidelines? You're like, I don't trust the Black Widow, or I'm going to get a piece of this action if we get a pullback, or I'm shorting and I'm going to squeeze all you guys out. Either way, let me know what you think, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on nat gas.